Guys. All right. Well, welcome back to a pivot talk. Okay. What I really wanted to go over, and this is kind of going to be my story. Okay. I want to get really vulnerable with you guys for sure. And the reason why I just want to say why I choose to get vulnerable with you guys is not because I need more attraction, I need more sympathy. Nothing, dude. I really don't care about that. But I know God has a plan for every single individual that comes across this page, and I think we're gonna resonate with each other's stories like no other. Okay, and I'm gonna start with that. Okay, so of course, just like anybody else, you can probably tell by the flag in the background. Okay, I'm a Southern dude, Southern guy. I'm from Georgia. Okay, I'm a big Georgia Bulldog fan. College football, everything, love it. I'm a big dog fan. Okay, uh, on Saturdays, that's literally all that exists down south is football. Okay, and then on Friday nights, it's high school football. Right, so I was a kicker. Okay, I played high school football, college football. Never went professional or anything, which is fine. God had other plans for me, which we'll get more into that. Um, as far as my journey, dude, I grew up in Waycross, Georgia, really small town, right outside of Valdosta, about 30, 45 minutes from there. Okay, not only that, but trials of series of relationships to friendships that came across my path along my journey, and we're still moving. Okay, and we're still getting that needle forward. But yeah, Waycross, Georgia was crazy just because I learned what hard work was, and when I mean hard work is like, guys, blue collar is so embedded in people's heads nowadays. It's kind of unreal, you know. Like, and let's just say for my family, for example, they live, breathe, and eat blue collar work, which is fine. Without those people, guys, we wouldn't have railroads, we wouldn't have power lines, houses would be burning down everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's just like those little things, and I'm so grateful for everybody that wears boots or has a construction vest on, whatever it may be. Just in this case, in this story, doesn't align with me and my goals. Okay, so at a really young age, I was able to take a kind of get a hand on that and realize left from right. Okay, and I wouldn't even say it was far left, but I knew I was meant for far right. Okay, and what I mean by that is I learned that I didn't want to break my back for the rest of my life. Okay, I saw my dad. I saw the way he was coming home. I wouldn't say the way he was treating us or anything. He just looked exhausted. He looked like he was always looking for time for himself. He was looking to get in the woods because we loved hunting. He was looking time for his family. You know what I mean? And it's hard to go fishing and do the things you like when you have so much going on in your world and you're just worried about paying bills. Okay, and it turns into this matrix, right? And that's what happens. We all just get caught in that. And luckily, I didn't want to be a part of that. I started seeing things differently, moving differently, talking differently, and my brain started puzzling different things together. And I'm so grateful for that. And at first, I really thought I was crazy. Like you're probably watching this video and you're like, how is this kid even thinking like this or talking? It's just because I went through so much crap, right? And what I mean by that is bad family growing up. Okay, I wouldn't say I had a bad family. Luckily, I ended up in the right place with my dad, but I had a stepmother and all that good stuff, right? So at a young age, my mom was a drug addict. Supposedly she's sober now, so that's awesome. I love to hear that. We just actually rekindled the fire there. But I just think I'm at a point where I can actually, you know, understand everything and not be so mad and have so much hate under myself. And I think the more you can forgive and forget is when more blessings come, of course. And just to stay on track is, yeah, I didn't want to break my back anymore. I wanted more, so I started playing football. Of course, I was really athletic, and right out of high school, like I said, I played football. Okay, I was a field goal kicker. I did kickoff, and I was also a punter. Okay, I absolutely love those. So when football comes on, I'm definitely eyeing that out 24 freaking 7, just watching to make sure their form's good. I don't like I could have been there, you know what I mean? So, they miss a kick. I'm like, oh, I could have definitely got that, but no, it's not really like that. It was more so I definitely was very athletic. I played soccer my whole life, and then that developed into just kicking a football, I guess. And so yeah, right out of high school, uh, I went to college. Okay, and this wasn't your typical college career. Okay, a lot of crap happened. Uh, I wasn't the smartest cat in high school. I graduated high school with a 2.3 GPA. I literally remember the last math class I had, or the last class I had to pass in order to get to that next, like, to get my diploma to walk across the stage was I think it was, I couldn't even tell, algebra 2, algebra 3, couldn't tell you. But I had to score a certain amount on that test. Guys, when I tell you I was a point 0.9 or 0.5 away from failing, that's what they told me, at least on my graduation day. My math teacher just laughed and shook my hand and said, "I can't believe it, honestly." And I was just like, "Hey, God has a plan, son. Watch this." You know what I mean? And that's what I love, you know. And it's kind of why I chose to do this stuff, and because I want to get eye to eye with you guys. I want to see level to level. I want you guys to understand that I actually am a human being, and I'm not just out here to have all the money in the world. I want to bless all the people in the world. Okay, so we get out of high school, we go straight to college, right? I start kicking. Of course, COVID comes around, and then when COVID comes around, we're not allowed to play football and all, okay? So I'm starting to get really bored. I'm understanding things. I'm lifting. I'm trying to get big, preparing myself for the next season because I know it's that season for me to go to the Division I level, which I did, you know, so I'm grateful for that. I ended up getting my associate's degree, and I went on to go to Georgia Southern for a little second, and then things fell through, which I am 100% blessed that things went the way they did, because if it weren't for that, I seriously would not be here, okay? And so right around that time when I went to the transition from Georgia Southern, I got some bad news from the football team. They just pretty much waived me, which is fine. I didn't even make it out of dang fall camp or anything. They literally were just like, "We just don't want you here anymore." Luckily, I had a girlfriend in Kennesaw State, Atlanta at the time. So what I did is I just walked on, or tried to walk on, transferred over there to Kennesaw State, realized I didn't love football anymore. I realized that football was literally just hurting me. I had a bad back problem, right? I got a crack in my lower spine, which I didn't even know about. So I could only kick so much to a certain extent. I could lift so much. Like, it just sucked. I was just like, dude, forget therapy, forget what's going on. What do I have to do? Okay. So then I just started focusing on school. Was I ever bad at school? Not at all. I cared so much about school because I wanted to play football. So now that I stopped, I was just like, dude, what's next for me? I was so depressed. I had friends that I didn't I wouldn't say that I didn't like. I loved my friends. They were the coolest dudes in the world, and that's the problem. Because when I like something, I have to get away from it, because that's discipline, right? And then when you get away and you can exit something out of your life, that's what we want to do, right? So Ashton loved hanging out with his friends. Ashton loved smoking dope. Ashton loved going out to the college scenery bars and having fun and being myself and using my voice and just being extra. You know what I mean? I've always been the life of the party. I love talking to people, and I love just being cool. It's that simple. And of course, taking the shirt off my back for my boys. Okay, whether it was time to brawl, you know what I mean? But I needed to escape, and I realized that. So right when I moved to Kennesaw State, I lived with my girlfriend's parents, okay? One of the most dumbest things a man could ever do. I do not recommend it. Go be the breadwinner anywhere you go, okay? That guilt got to me. I ended up quitting school because that guilt got to me so bad. I ended up working at a pizza place delivering pizzas, okay? Not delivering. I was an assistant manager at a Domino's, okay? And right across the street from this Domino's, there was a dealership, okay? So every day I'm seeing this lot slammed, okay? I'm seeing people come in and out, and on Saturdays, it was just like car heaven. Everybody wanted to buy a car on Saturdays. So I was just like, dude, I seriously have to get in there. So every day I'm looking at this. I'm hating my life because no one's listening to me at the pizza place. They're just like, so when no one listens, you'll end up that you're going to be doing all of their work, okay? And when that starts to happen, it starts to become a repetitive cycle of like, when things aren't going your way at a job, it might be your time to grow, okay? People can say you're not supposed to hop around job to job to job. Dude, you are young. Go mess up, okay? Quit that job. Quit that group. Keep going until you find something that can actually keep you stable, okay? And it took me the longest to do that. So if I could skip anything, I would definitely say that, okay? So because in this transition, I'm looking at a dealership every single day, and I'm kind of wondering, like, I could sell cars. My teachers told me my whole life, you're a salesman. Like, you're going to be a used car salesman. You can sell a booger on a napkin. And all this is going through my head. Why? I don't know. I'm thinking crazy. I'm like, nah, this is a consistent job, working 84 hours a week. I ended up moving me and my girlfriend out of our apartment, or out of her mom's place, got our own place. Okay, so paying and doing that, I wasn't even making enough to actually enjoy the things I wanted to enjoy, which is some bullcrap because that's all I could think about. I'm seeing all these guys on social media have this life in Miami, have the penthouse here, have the girl of his dreams, just doing everything he needs, cooking, cleaning, and it's just like, why can't I have it? So then I got pissed, and there becomes a certain point in your career where you start to get mad. Okay, and that's exactly where I'm at now. Okay, and that's why I feel like if I can just share my story, I can connect with people on a whole nother level, and we all grow together. Why wouldn't people want to do that? You know what I mean? So that sounded cool. So I just kept going and going and going. So I got so tired of not being able to enjoy my nice things I had in life. I literally 8 o'clock. Okay, Domino's closes at 1 in the morning on Saturdays. I shut the store down. This is a corporate store. Keep that in mind. Everybody's working. I told everybody to go home. I'm shutting this joker down. I quit. I walked right out of that place. Dealership closed at 10 o'clock that night. Walked right across the street. Got a job on spot. I said I've sold door to door in the past during some summers, messing around with some buddies. I think I have what it takes to be a freaking car salesman. Okay, so I'm going in the transition. That month, guys, I quit my job. I was so scared to take that risk, but I promise you, if you live by this anywhere you go, when it feels scary to jump, that's exactly when you freaking jump. Okay? Tell yourself that anytime you feel scared. Do not be afraid of opportunity. The real world sees opportunity as scams. I didn't see it at all. Okay? What happened is I quit Domino's, okay? Walked across the street, got a job that freaking day, same day walk in. Walked in there, hey sir, how you doing? Made eye contact. Hey, dude's a cool dude. We kicked it off, right? Getting along great. He said, dude, I can tell you have some kind of sales history. Talk to me. I said, well, I mean, I did pest control sales like my senior year, freshman year in college, like during the summer. I don't know if that counts. And he was just like, oh, are you serious? He said, I think you're going to make a great salesman. And I was just like, yeah, I know I'm going to be a great salesman. I said, I promise you I will get 20 cars a month if you give me this opportunity. I kid you not, in 2 weeks I sold 24 cars. 2 weeks, $7,600. Yeah, a lot of freaking money. I saw that. And that was this like 2 weeks after I'd quit Domino's. I was making $13.20 an hour. And then the first time I saw a $7,600 paycheck, boy, my eyes were like, you know what I mean? And it was just like mind boggling that you can make that kind of money and it is that easy. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even say it was that easy. I just flipped this. My mindset of like, okay, you're doing this, go do this. Oh, you sold another one, go get another one. Then I would sell another one, then I'd get another one. And that's how that sales trifecta. It's just like, oh my God, I see a little bit of that. I want to go get this. Oh, it's coming like this. How can I make it better to go do this? You know what I mean? And you start to put these things together. And that's exactly what I was doing, right? And then you get to a period of time where this is where I started to make my body. Like with football and cardio and just being athletic my whole life, I always had to have a good physique almost in my head. Like I always wanted to look like Zac Efron on the TV, so I was lifting, okay? Why? At the time, I just wanted to get curls. And then it turned into I wanted to be good at sports. Okay, now I got to get bigger. I'm in college for football. Okay. And then after that, I got in this little depression route when college football was out of here, right? So I'm working at Domino's. I'm working out. I'm working out like crazy in this period. I'm just so down bad, I had to go mentally make myself and my headspace better. So 3-4 hours a night after Domino's, sitting there pumping hour until 2 or 3, sleeping in till 4 o'clock the next day, and then get up for my shift for Domino's, do the same thing. Never no time for my girl, no nothing, which is pitiful, okay? So I'm looking back at all this, and of course I'm doing what? I'm fixing my mistakes and making them to perfection, okay? And that's why I'm a firm believer that if you're going through something, it's for a reason. Are you just going to be smart enough when you fall? How fast can you get back up and learn from it, okay? And I love that. So I'm in this period of depression, okay? Quit the Domino's, went to the dealership. I'm working out even more, okay? After the dealership, guess what I'm doing? I'm pumping. This time I decided to pick up this. I'm starting to film a little bit, okay? Cool. And then I met this guy, okay? And I started filming his camera for him. So I'm walking around the gym. Dude had the driest personality in here. If you're seeing this, I'm sorry, but you you had a dry personality, okay? And not everybody can have this personality. Just messing with you. But yeah, I was just like, dude, if this guy can do this, why can't I go do this? But 10 times better. So then, okay, I start picking this up. I start making some gym content, okay? I pop off on TikTok. Cool. Got some quick followers. Everything started to go good. Met some guys. Started building a clothing line on the side. Behind the scenes, it just seemed too good to be true, but I'm building this vision of like, okay, I want my own clothing line. I want my fitness brand. I want to be a fitness influencer. I want to help people change their bodies and their physiques and their minds. And it's like I created this, okay? You start to believe it so much that it becomes realistic. And people trip about that. They get so normalized and create what we call an NPC mind. Do you know what an NPC mind is? It's like a Sims character out there. You guys are just walking around and you're being pointed in this direction. You have another man being the freaking superhero for your family, and or vice versa, a superwoman being the superwoman for another man's family. It doesn't matter. We want to be the superhero. We want to be the supermom, doing everything. We don't want our kids looking up to any other man except me. That type of vibe. And it's crazy because sometimes you got to take a step back. And you'll then understand where you need to go. You're starting to pray more. You're starting to get closer to your Heavenly Father. And then when that happens, it's almost like angels are sent into your life. Okay? And undercover angels. I'm a big believer in that too. So I quit the deal. I didn't quit the dealership. Quit Domino's. Go to the dealership. Bought us a nice house, a nice little apartment. Okay? Well, after that, I'm starting to pop off on socials by filming. Okay, I'm just like, oh my God, like I might have a chance here in the fitness world. So I'm posting on Instagram daily. I'm on TikTok daily. Blow up on TikTok. I'm starting to think even crazier now. I'm like, I want to be a fitness influencer. My ex-girlfriend thinks I'm crazy. Okay, cool. I want people to think I'm crazy. The more I live in rent-free in people's heads, I'm doing something right. Okay, but it doesn't even stop there. It was more so like I was so set on what I wanted to achieve, I had to get it done. So we cut things off, okay? I sold everything in that apartment on Facebook, used all that money I had, and I went to Houston, okay? Why did I go to Houston? I don't know. Something told me to go to Houston, okay? I wanted to go to Alphaland. Alphaland was that gym to go be great, meet connections, and just chase a freaking dream because I was doing it. And I said, well, let's go pop off then. I ain't scared because when it feels scary, we what? Well, we jump. So I packed my car up and we left. Paid my last month of rent and never looked back. Okay? And in this process, the amount of undercover angels I ran into were actually unreal. Okay? And what I mean by that is I was homeless. Okay? I had a friend help me out. My car was repoed and towed 40 times just about. I want to say total, my car was repoed twice. Towed from like an apartment complex and then tag my tag up overnight. So then they'll tow it because you're not supposed to be there. That crap happened 7 different times. And it wasn't cheap to get out of that freaking restaurant too. So how was Ashton making money out there? I wasn't. I used money I'd saved from the dealership to live for a second. And when that money ran out, guess what? I was screwed. So then my car was gone. Okay? Right. It sucked. So I got a job at Roadhouse just to make enough money to get to a neighborhood, to keep knocking freaking doors. Because at this time, I met a gentleman named Brian Redmond. Okay? He sold solar. I sold door to door, and I was at the dealership, and I said, I want a chance selling solar. I said, I looked up, how do you make the most money? It said solar. Guess what? I said, I'm going to learn everything about this, and I'm going to become one of the best at this. So dang sure that's exactly what I damn did. Okay? I learned everything about this craft. I went home at nights after working a Texas Roadhouse shift, which is HE double hockey stick, okay? I would get home. No, I wouldn't just get home. My car's gone. Keep that in mind. I would run 2 miles home with my shirt off in jeans, get home, sit there and study. I'd write everything down. Words, big words, word tracks, everything technology-wise when it comes to the panel, everything, okay? I learned how to even sell. I learned the rights and wrongs from how to get around somebody's head, to keep circling. You know, the KISS method, keep it stupid simple. Whatever it may have been in the sales world, I learned it. Okay? And it did not happen overnight. Okay? I cried at night because it was so hard. Okay? I was genuinely questioning my Lord, why? Why are you putting me through these dark times? Keep in mind, I'm still going door to door. I'm still Ubering to a neighborhood just to knock a door, and I sucked at pitching. So every freaking door I knocked on was getting slammed in my face over, over, over. Dude, I'm in my head at this point. Nobody was wanting solar panels. Okay? So then what do? I don't quit. I go harder. Okay? I started watching YouTube videos. I started filming myself, writing it down, critiquing my body movement, my tonality. I'm up really high, and then guess what? I'm really low. How are you? And I just started learning the different things, and it was kind of crazy what I taught myself. So then I ended up cashing out. Okay? Everything worked out. I was homeless. I had a best friend who let me live with him, which, Aiden, if you're on here, dude, without you, I would not be where I'm at today. So I do love you, dog. And I still keep up with you to this day, and I hope you kill it with everything you do. You already are. So if you're watching this, Aiden, I love you, dog. That was a big part of my life, dude. At that time, I remember hitting my knees daily before I woke up and before I went to bed. I'd have the Book of Mormon out just reading. It's kind of crazy because those different time zones in your life that you're going through the hills and the highs and lows, you are going to remember every feeling on those lows, and you're going to take it on to your next endeavor, and it makes sense after that. What I really want to touch on most is just like the story, the backprint of why everything happened, why I thought the way I thought, and how I got to where I'm at. Right, and I started to pick up right at this time in my life. I'm starting to understand what this is. Okay, I'm starting to understand my thoughts are going to really trigger me, so I got to control them. I just can't give up. At this time, I'm battling everything still that's hitting me in life without routine. Like, I'm getting up late. I'm not really like dialed in as I should. I'm lifting. Yeah, I'm eating right. Yeah, I'm making social media content, but I had no purpose. I had no why. So when I just started to develop the why and the purpose part, that's when it kind of started to flip for me. Okay, so I go from Houston to Florida. Okay, Florida, it was cool, but it was really quick. I felt like, and I understood why I was in Florida. One, I met a lot of great relationships that are going to help me with business down the road. Two, it taught me how to actually start my own business. Okay, so that's why I went into the clothing line aspect. So all those guys taught me something really well, to where I can go be great down the road. So I don't ever think I wasted my time doing that. A lot of people might think so, but in reality, I just learned a lot, and I'm going to go do a lot with it. Okay. So Sarasota is really quick. So in the time I was in Sarasota, I met a gentleman named Jake Colgate, which was one of my favorite mentors. Him and Chris Berry, right, was had his contractor's license to actually get the installments done. And Jake was actually the CEO of what we call the Dynasty Group. Okay. And in this part, I'm still selling solar. So I took from selling solar in Houston all the way to Florida still. And at this time is when I learned what an emotional line was and what vices were almost, right? And a lot of people overcomplicate these things, okay? They don't have routine. They don't have a schedule, okay? They don't know how to control their straight lines, so they're just everywhere, okay? They don't ever just know how to keep it straight. And that's what this Dynasty group taught me. And so when you're around a group of guys who are all going after the same goal, like no smoking, no drinking, no partying, no women, no vaping. Like, we had this, what we called a vice board. Okay. This vice board may have been silly, and I still have a picture of everything we weren't allowed to do. Okay. And that was everything. No porn, no food, like bad food. We were all on diets. We were lifting every single morning together, getting up early. Like, if it wasn't on the schedule that we all made together, it did not exist. Okay, so in this trial, I'm learning some crazy stuff. I'm honestly still looking around like, these guys are crazy. This stuff don't work. I've been sleeping in my whole life, and I'm still jacked. I'm still got a clean mind. I'm not insecure. When in reality, guess what? I had too much pride and ego. I kept telling myself that. I really kept telling myself that. I figured it out, and I had it all made. But then guess what? They kept chipping at me every single time I broke one of these vices. Chipping at me, chipping at me. And this is where I understood friends were everything. Who you hang around is what you catch. You ever heard that saying is if you hang around dogs, you're going to end up catching ticks or fleas? It's exactly what happens. They go jump from one to another. Okay? So this is what I started to recognize. All these guys were holding me accountable. They were teaching me, hey, it's not on that schedule. Ashton doesn't exist. Hey, let's go to church. Hey, that girl's no good for you, man. I promise you. Come to church. You'll meet a good one. Just people who care and self-criticize you in the most humble, wholesome ways possible, stay around those people. They're gonna carry you far. But but you need to make sure your goals align with their goals. And this is where the universal effect kind of comes in. And I also learned that as well. Okay. And I'll tell you where the universal part comes on. So right here, okay, I'm going through the bull crap. I'm in my depression stage. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm in a mentorship now that I'm in Florida from sleeping in all the dang time. Now I'm in like this school of hard knocks almost. It taught me everything about having schedule and how to have routine. And as if you keep knocking these little habits out, they then become just bigger and more consistent dragons that are being slain, and you're attacking life. You know, you're on top of everything. So when I took the transition from Florida, I went to Kansas City. So that's a big switch right there. I moved to the middle of the United States, just about right above Texas again. Why? The solar market. Okay, so we all came out here. Solar, it's a really green state, and it seemed to be popping off really well. So that's what we did. I took some of my best friends.